Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your JIS News for Monday, December 16. The winter tourist season is expected to push stopover visitor arrivals for this year to more than 2 million. Tourism and Entertainment Minister Dr. McNeil says preliminary estimates for January to November show that some 1.8 million persons have already vacationed in Jamaica.
We anticipate that the country will earn close to $2 billion this year. We're encouraged by the number of advance bookings and the excitement that brand Jamaica still generates.
Dr. McNeil was addressing the nation Sunday for the start of the winter tourist season, which runs from December 15 until April 2014. Government is receiving nearly $50 million in support to manage the reintegration of deportees into the Jamaican society. The National Security Ministry and the British High Commission signed a memorandum of understanding last Friday to improve the capacity of the deportee monitoring unit to the tune of $48 million.
Helping us to strengthen our capacities as far as the current system involving the reception, processing and monitoring of deported individuals.
The project started in November of this year and will continue until April 2015. British High Commissioner, His Excellency David Fitton, says each year the UK government deports about 400 Jamaicans and is concerned with ensuring that those individuals are successfully reintegrated into society.
We all hope that people come back and work and do reintegrate themselves properly and become members of society in a responsible way. There may be some who are, for various reasons, not able to do that and might unfortunately return to criminal activity. The aim here is to work again closely with you and with our colleagues in the JCF to ensure that we can try and prevent that happening.
Government continues to make good on its mission to empower citizens through the distribution of land titles. 78 titles were presented to beneficiaries from the Gravel Heights community in St. Catherine on Friday. Minister with responsibility for housing, Dr. Maurice Guy, told recipients that the titles were keys that would open doors of opportunities.
It is potential that is locked up in the envelope. I want you to unleash that potential, ladies and gentlemen. The access to ownership of land is what is not only going to make you and your families better, but will improve the well-being of the economy of the country.
Climate Change Minister Robert Pickersgill is warning that Jamaicans cannot afford to continue treating the issue of climate change with scant regard. The minister was speaking recently at the closing and awards ceremony for the Climate Change Adaptation and Disaster Risk Reduction Project.
What is amazing to me is that even now there are still naysayers about climate change. Despite the growing body of scientific knowledge about this phenomenon, and the empirical evidence, for instance, in the form of Hurricane Sandy, which cost us approximately 9.7 billion Jamaican dollars. We must therefore plan not just for more frequent disasters, but for droughts, for flooding, and for heat.
The closing out ceremony awarded persons who were involved in the Climate Change Adaptation and Disaster Risk Reduction Project. It was funded by government, the European Union, and the United Nations Environment Programme. And finally, the approach to leadership must be one that seeks to advance the cause of the people with integrity, compassion and humility. That, says Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller, is one of the lasting lessons to be learned from the life of the late Nelson Mandela.
The best tribute we can pay to him, Mr. Speaker, is to emulate his extraordinary life and to see to what extent we can reflect his glory. Let us in honor of this great man, Nelson Mandela, determined to rid ourselves of tribalist tendencies. Nelson Mandela was nothing if not an all-embracing consensus builder who believed in inclusive leadership. What a lesson for us as Jamaicans.
The Prime Minister was addressing Parliament Friday as members of the Senate and the lower house jointly paid tribute to South Africa's first majority-elected president. In his remarks, opposition leader Andrew Holness also spoke to the leadership lessons to be learned from Nelson Mandela.
Lessons we learn from Mandela is his ability to rise above the injustice and cruelty of others and to focus on what is right for the people.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Carrie-Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.